Okay, let's see what else we got going on. If you have a camera, take all the pictures that you want. We have no restrictions on photography anywhere throughout the facility, with the exception of videotaping, which you can't do at any time. No, just kidding. We just do want you to remember one thing while you're down here. We are the U.S. government, and we have nothing to hide.
No, it's actually down by the riverside. That hole over there is actually for the cable crane. It's actually still in use today. It's the oldest operating cable crane in the country, dating from the 30s. Back then it was rated for like 200 tons. I think today it's rated for like 150 or so. So not bad for a 70-year-old man, though. You're going to see the Colorado River all the way down there. Damming that river up gave us Lake Mead. If you guys ever get a chance to get out to or have been to the Grand Canyon, this river over here on the right side helped carve out all that you see at the Grand Canyon, too. The other thing, too, is when you get your tickets, you're going to see how it says 3:30 on there. That is Pacific Standard Time. I tell you this for a reason, because if you go walking around, you look at that clock over there, it's like 4 o'clock right now. It's actually 4 o'clock on that side of the river, or on that side of the dam, where it's only 3 over here on this side. Because that's Arizona, that's mountain time, and therefore you can't actually sort of travel in time if you'd like. So the time on your ticket is actually Pacific Standard Time for on this side of the dam. But the cool thing is, come back in a couple weeks when we all do that daylight savings thing, and that side and this side will then be in sync, because Arizona does not do daylight savings. Okay, for everybody else, it's going to begin to the left of the red banner. Okay, what you need to do first is head over this way, talk to BJ, show her your ticket, get your hard hat, your sticker, and your earplugs. Then, not you two, you're going kind of a different, a little bit different. And once you guys got your hard hats, head that direction to the left of the red banner. Now, the tours begins at 3:30. You want to be there around like 3:25 at the latest. So you got like 15 minutes to kind of maybe goof off a little bit if you want, like really, really quick. Go up the escalators here, the elevator or the stairs, in the little class area, go inside the building, a little bit of a museum type of thing. You go upstairs again, go to the observation area, you show a really awesome picture of the whole face of the damn thing. So you got time, you can do that real quick if you like. Just bear in mind, you want to go here first, get your hard hat, your sticker, your earplugs, and then head to the left of the red banner. Okay, now for folks taking the hard hat tour, your tour's going to end on top of the Hoover Dam. If you guys get done with your tour, just kind of hang a left, and I'll be standing there waiting for you. So kids have fun.
All right. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. If you have a camera, take all the pictures that you want. We have no restrictions on photography anywhere throughout the facility, with the exception of videotaping, which you can't do at any time. No, just kidding. I saw you doing it, so I had to say it. We just do want you to remember one thing while you're down here. We are the U.S. government, and we have nothing to hide. Here. Here. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's see what else we got going on. There's no eating or drinking on the tour. No smoking, and for some reason I've had to add this, and no chewing tobacco. We've had people spitting in bottles and stuff, so that's lovely. Yeah, we've got that going for us, which is nice. What we're going to be doing, as I said, we're going to be walking up and down some stairs. We'll walk down about 100, but we'll only walk up about 50 at a time. Rest of them will be running up the stairs. So, no, if I can do it, anybody here can do it. The goal is to take you to as many possible places as I can during the limited amount of time I have, but that's really all dependent upon the group here and not me. People tend to lag behind and stuff. I'm not going to be the bad guy. I've seen all this stuff before, so we'll just wait and we'll go to less places. And so usually peer pressure prevents that from happening, but just, police yourselves. I'm not going to be the bad guy here. We're going to start off walking through this first tunnel. I do want to let you know that we are going to be in a working power plant. Safety is an issue, so make sure that you keep your hard hats on at all times.
And just watch where you're walking, things like that. We're going to walk around some exposed railways, and there's some oil might be on the floor, so just be aware of that. We're going to start off by walking through this first tunnel. This one was made in 1992, built due to the construction of the new visitor center that we just came down through. All the other tunnels here, though, made between 1931 and 1933. We're going to be in some of those today. Now, as you walk through this tunnel, you may see some moisture on the walls. Now, don't be overly concerned about it. And whatever you do, do not use the L word. That is not a leak. That is seepage. People want to know what the difference is between leakage and seepage, because it looks over there like it could be the L word, but no, it is seepage. Well, the difference between leakage and seepage sounds less scary. That's why we use, you have to remember, on the other side of the dam, largest man-made reservoir in the United States, latent meters of storage capacity of 9.2 trillion gallons of water. All that water is held back by a dam that was installed by the lowest bidder. We want it to sound as least scary as possible. But it is perfectly normal. It happens every single day. The only time you should be worried on this tour, if at any point you see me run screaming, please follow me, because I know all the best ways out of here, and I'm going to make sure absolutely nothing happens to Bill on this tour. So if you can keep up with me, we'll be doing great. White stuff on the walls is calcium carbonate. It's basically an unrefined Rolaids or Tums. If you are feeling ill throughout the tour, give the walls a lick. I have tried it, just for clinical purposes. It does taste horrible, but calcium carbonate is supposed to be a natural buffering agent, so it is supposed to be safe. Right now we're standing on the back side of our power plant. 8 generators on this side and 9 across the river and the other side of the power plant, for a total of 17. Each one of our generators is capable of producing 130 megawatts of electricity, enough like the average city of about 65,000 homes. When all 17 of the generators are in operation, we produce 2,080 megawatts. As you look down at that row, the ones that are currently online, those are indicated by the illuminated lights on the top. All original bearings except for one. All main bearings are original. We've had one replacement, and one's got a replacement, and all the other ones are original main bearings. Guide bearings are replaced when you replace the components they're attached to, but the main bearing, the thrust bearing that it hangs on, is all original. What we're going to do from here, we're going to go upstairs, but not all the way up there we just came. We're going to go up about 50 stairs. We're going to be on the floor of the power plant. I want to tell you about the Terrazzo tile, is what we're going to start off with. But we're going to walk over and take a look at one of our in-service units or in-house units that we use for power. And gravity is what propels the water down. That, and of course, head pressure. That's what we call the pressure on here. We have to have so many feet of head pressure. So that has to be so many feet above the generators. And that feet is between 480 and 500 feet. And the reason I gave you that range is different generators require different mounts. But 500 is a good figure. We don't need any more than 500 out. We're over 500 now. We're probably almost 600, so we can lose another 100 feet off the water and still run our generators. So the water is pushing down very fast. Like I said, 12 miles an hour is a really fast thing of water, especially when you consider that there is 10,000 gallons of water per second coming through here. Now that water is coming in, and it's taking the mechanical energy of the water coming through and spinning this turbine. The turbine spins the shaft. The shaft, which is made up of a series of 40 electromagnetic poles, and that is spinning at 180 revolutions per minute inside the stator, and that's what's producing the electricity. Now the reason that this spins at 180 revolutions per minute is the number of poles. Usually with larger generators, let's say on a big hydroelectric or a big nuclear, they may have 4 or 5 poles. So they're spinning at 3,000 revolutions per minute. We have a lot of poles that actually spin slow. So that's why she spins. People who work at power plants are amazed at how slow these things turn. 180 revolutions per minute. But that's what we need to make 60 cycles per second. That's what we use here in the United States, 60 or 60 cycles per second. Most European countries will use a 50. Canada just uses 60, I understand. Then all that power is transferred outside, and I don't want to get into that now because I'm going to show you outside what we do with that power. And each one of these generators right now that's currently in operation is producing 16,500 volts. 150 years versus Lake Huron. That's what they tell us. Folks, what we're standing on right here is called Terrazzo tile. It's made by mixing marble chips and mortar, then polishing it down to an even surface. They installed 121,000 square feet of it here in the dam and power plant in 1937 for $59,000. Cost to replace it, they estimated $14 million, but we have no plans to replace it. And you'll see that when we go down the floor of the power plant, it's still in great shape after all these years. But if we do ever replace it, we plan to use those peel and stick tiles from the Home Depot. Yeah, so if you ever come back and see a lovely oak parquet, yeah, that's what we've done. We're going to go ahead and take a look over here by this rust-colored piece of machinery called the pelted water wheel. This is a horizontal generator as opposed to the big verticals here, but it's power supplied by 2 pelt water wheels. What a pelt water wheel is, 26 buckets like this mounted on a wheel, like you'll see right here. Water comes in, spins that, both within the stator. Now as opposed to the ones that we talked about downstairs, 180 revolutions per minute, these guys here spinning 50 revolutions. This is what we use in-house electrical power. You don't want to have a generator that 30 megawatts. You can't separate that power, it's all or nothing. So we can take it to 30 megawatts, but in reality, we need about 5 megawatts to run this place. Each one of these produces 2.4 megawatts. Is N8. This is the newest in the entire power plant, installed 1961. As you walk down, you may have seen some of the data plates that are on the pieces of equipment here. Most of them, if they're old anyways, like this one right here, are just kept there for historical purposes. In other words, the piece of equipment or the component that this refers to is no longer there. This referred to a cast iron turbine that was installed in 61 and at the time put out 115,000 horsepower. The new clad stainless steel ones were installed between 1982 and 1992 just to take advantage of technology. They now put out 178,000 horsepower. Same thing with the electrical components. This at the time was an Alice Chalmers unit. The new unit is right here. It's a GE of Canada. The old 130 megawatts. And that was just, like I said, just to take advantage of technology that they had missed since being installed from the 1930s through 1961. When this place was built, there were no computers. So it was all designed with manual operation in mind. When they added computers, not that many years ago, that's all they did was add computers. In other words, everything manual is still in operation here. If the computers fail, we run everything manually. So Y2K, that wasn't an issue to us. Computers help us, but they don't run this place. What you're looking at is the tallest concrete dam in the Western Hemisphere. 726 feet tall. But you're only seeing about 560 feet of it. From the top to the water line is 560, so there's a whole bunch of dam beneath the water line. At the top, she's 1,244 feet across. The Empire State Building is only 1,250 feet tall. So if you took the Empire State Building, bent it into that curve, she'd stick out 6 feet. So it's a good-sized dam, especially for as old as she is. 45 feet thick at the top, but at the base, 660 feet thick, thicker than 2 football fields long. Took 3,250,000 cubic yards of concrete to create. She weighs in at a petite 6.6 million tons. There's enough concrete in the dam alone to make a 2-lane highway from San Francisco to New York City. And yes, that does include the curves. You may have heard stories about bodies being entombed in the dam. There's no truth to that. And you can tell that by looking at the face of the dam. It's made up of block sections. Those blocks are only 5 feet tall. When you brought down 8 cubic yards of concrete in a standard sized bucket, it added 5 inches per bucket load. You can't cover people up 5 inches at a time. We've tried. They keep getting back up. So there's no truth to that rumor, but we will be inside the dam. Let me show you where. 6 feet tall, 126 feet long. The reason I gave you all that information is I'm going to have you walking through that tunnel. You're going to be looking right out that vent in this area here. 2 miles of tunnels on the interior of the dam, and we will be walking through some of those. Now, even though there's no bodies entombed in the dam, unfortunately there were fatalities on the project. 96 industrial deaths occurred here, mostly due to falling off the sides of these canyon walls or having something from the top fall off and hit them. So you can say half the deaths on the project were caused due to the height of the canyon that they chose to build the dam in. What we're going to do from here, we're going to walk down, and there's another tunnel around the corner to our left. We're going to go down into that tunnel, where I've got kind of a graphic display there. I'm going to show you how we moved the river where they built this dam, because the dam was built on dry land. Let me go further. But those are what we call upper valve houses, and what they do is, in addition to pushing water through the turbines, if we have to release more water, we allow it to come out the sides of those holes right there. And only the last 2 holes used to be 6 needle valves years ago. Now they have 2 jet flow gates that do the work of 6 needle valves. So 4 are closed off, and you'll see that inside there's big red caps that cover them. So on the end 2, when those are open, each one of those can release 36,000 gallons a second. Now the problem with that is we're not pushing turbines with 36,000 gallons per second. If we're not turning turbines, we're not making electricity, we're not making money. And we like to make money. So it's very rare that you see those, but they were used between 1936 and 1961 before all the generators were installed. After the generators were all installed, we try really hard to meter the water through the generators, because that's what we should be doing. Our job is to pass water, but it's also to make some electricity. So we want to try to push it through if we can. And when we go inside, you'll get a little bit better picture, because I got a real big picture that shows you how all the water moves. But you'll know what I'm talking about when I talk about the upper valve houses. Yes, sir?
Up on that rock up there, you have so many of those little nuts and bolts sticking out. Is that to hold something from coming down?
Original construction. Oh, you mean, those up there? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you could see that from here. That's nothing. Let's go.
Okay. That's a mystery.
Yeah, that's a mystery. No, what they are is rock bolts, rock stabilization bolts with a 6x6 metal plate. What the problem is, when you knock rock back, okay, like you would have to do. They thought that area might come down on the top of this building. If you knock it back, you create a ledge, and you have to knock the ledge back. The problem is, straight above our heads, that's the road. So you couldn't continue to knock back any further. So instead, they stabilized it. And if you look to the other side, you see they didn't do it on that side. They were able to keep knocking back in as far as they wanted to. But on this side here, they chose not to do that, so they put stabilization bolts. And when you go in through this tunnel, you'll see that we have some, you can even see some right here, some over the top. Now, it's interesting that you look up, because I thought you were talking about the outhouse. It is still a functional outhouse, so be very, very careful as you go underneath. Yeah, we try not to let the visitors use it, but hey, it happens. No, what that is, hey, look there's Rich Bucks. What that is right above our heads, 6 cables. They're 3.5 inches in diameter. Anybody park in the parking garage?
Yeah.
Right next to the parking garage, big crane that sits there. That crane rides out on the cables, lowers items in and out of the canyon. Interesting thing about that crane, original crane for the building of the dam. Oldest and largest continuously operating cable craneway system in the world, 150-ton lift capacity.
All yours.
How are you going to get all those people in that elevator?
I have my big shoehorn. I'll leave it up here for you if you need it.
No, we're a small group.
Oh, okay.
We're a small group. And that's where we lower things in. And when we get downstairs, I'll show you how we get the trucks in here too. But we still use that thing about every other week. That set of cables, the first replacement set. There was the originals and those, that's it. And also, if you look to the other side, you can see, it looks like the bridge to nowhere. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
It's the end of a rail. What they do is they can bring stuff in on rail cars all the way over from Kingman, and that's where you stop. That's where you pick up your equipment and then drop it down. So it's not a bridge to nowhere. We didn't run out of funding. That's how it's supposed to look. Once again, trust me, I'm from the government. Let's go ahead and look down here. We're going to look into this tunnel, see if we can find something to get in trouble with. I'm just trying to get trains staying here. The dam's up at the end of the day. What I'd like to do is to show you where we've been, where we are, where we're going, how we move water to the really opening. Look at the 8 generators on the Nevada side coming down to the base of N1. Came back upstairs, walk down next to all the generators, then we went into an elevator, little tunnel straight up. Look over your heads, this is a tunnel. The reason that this tunnel was created was to put in the piping. 30-foot diameter, but 23 feet in length. So they brought it in through these areas and then they put it inside. So all the stuff that's, we're in the upper area, all the upper area here, this is how it was in, and downstairs, same thing. We'll see that because we're going to walk past one of the downstairs tunnels. So that is the 30-foot diameter piping. Actually, that's reduced in size because we're about here, it's going down to about 27 feet. 30 is what actually feeds the generators. As it gets smaller, here area, as it gets smaller before it goes down into the valves here, that's 27 feet in this area. Moving water, that's what I said we do. Yes, for the most part, we do go ahead and turn turbines to make electricity. Intake towers, 30-foot diameter water pipe to a 13, feeds the generators straight out down the Colorado. Also, as we mentioned outside, the upper valve houses. It's these areas here, water would shoot out onto the sides of the canyon wall, and we can also push water out straight into the river level. And you can see how that would work. In addition to pushing water, we can allow it to come out through these areas and shoot out. But again, it's pretty rare that you'd see it happen. For transportation purposes, that's not very much. So what we have to do is increase the voltage to send it out of here. So those things step it up to 230,000 volts. That's what those thin wires are going up. Now the reason the wires are above us right here, we don't want you grabbing the wires as you walk by, but if you do, don't grab me. It's one of our small rules here at the dam. Actually, I invented that one, but I still like it. I think it makes good sense. Now, all that power goes into Boulder City, into the switch yards. Switch yards in Boulder City have the ability to increase that voltage again through a series of separate transformers to 500,000 volts. And all that power goes out to this pole. Now, most of our power, 56%. Now, are you here on vacation, or you got to go back like tonight? So you seem pretty happy about that. If you've ever been to Yuma, you know what they're talking about. So they still have like 1 million RVs there. So that's the only thing I remember. I remember sand dunes and RVs. That's all I remember about Yuma. Now, if there's other people here that love Yuma, well, that's good too. That tour that you just saw that was leaving here, that's the traditional tour, or the regular tour is what we call that. This is the most popular tour, the one that you're on. We turn away about 300 people a day that want to take this tour, and they wind up on that one. So when you go upstairs, there's a percentage of people up there that are going to hate your guts. So just be very, very careful. Yes. But the great thing is they're going to ask you what you saw. This gives you an opportunity to let your imagination run wild. Kind of give you some hints. They think you've been to Area 51. they think you've flown in the alien aircraft and participated in the alien autopsies. Some of you who have never been here before, welcome to Arizona. You'll notice it's a dry heat over here. I don't know what that is, but everybody from Arizona always says that. This summer, standing on this ramp, Arizona or Nevada, the tour's been over like an hour and a half, so find your own way out. Thanks for coming. We're going to go back upstairs, and I think this time, we fit into a small elevator. We'll try a small elevator again. We're going to go up to level 5 inside the dam. We'll look at the 9 generators on the Arizona side, then we'll go inside the dam and take a look from the inside out. Probably the last one's really online. That's why we have the hard hats on. Now I know what you're thinking, 528 feet of concrete comes down upon your head, this won't help you. It's not really to help you, it's to help us. We're covered under all liability because we've given you every safety device to man. So take a look at the ceiling, the walls, though, the floor, all original tile work completed in 1937. You know they didn't do this quality for the workers of those days. This was done with tourism in mind. Right now, you are on the original tour route that every single person, 1937 to 1995, walked through. After 1995, we started to use the new visitor center to bring the traditional groups up and down through. So the only people that use this today are the hard hat tours and the workers. We're going to the original elevator shaft that was used since 1937, but the elevators have been replaced. 1988, we replaced those. However, the cables are the originals. They say twine lasts forever. But we're going to go and make a stop they never made, which is inside the dam at level 4. And that is our next step. Everybody to walk down, take a look, take a picture, and then bypass the rest of the group. We're going to meet right back down here. If you're taller than I am, please watch your head as you go through. You will have to duck a little bit. And halfway down on the floor, you're going to see a steel grate. Stop and take a look down through the grate. I think you'll find it interesting.
Oh, no.
Or don't look, as the case may be. Just remember, it's all done with mirrors. Just don't even look there. I'm going to stand right on. I do want to advise everyone of one thing, though. Don't jump up and down on the grate. We don't know how well super glue holds.
They weren't kidding when they said it was being held together by crazy glue.
And I tell people on the regular tour,
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to cross over it and then I'll look back down because if I look over it's before I cross.
As Kurumi's running her mouth.
Oh yeah, I see. You can see what one of these ones.
And that's where we were, right over there. We were on there. Now everyone upstairs, looking down right now, can see my hand outside and is freaking them out.
Oh, really?
So it's pretty cool. I wasn't here. I was actually there. Yeah, I was in a horrible little place in the middle of the desert over there, Louis Michel. We're just going to come a little bit further and not think about that door because I want that door to close, but we can't think about it because the door knows we're looking at it. So, hey, no, we're looking upstairs. This is actually 1930s Art Deco styling.
Wow.
This is put in or designed by a guy by the name of Gordon Kaufman, who was an Englishman, worked out of an office in California. He did all the Art Deco stylings you see, all the designs of this, that design right there. And that, by the way, and that's what I wanted you to see, those are the heaviest elevator doors in the world. They're 800 pounds a piece. Solid bell brass with a copper wash. You can tap that thing. It is solid brass. The reason this is so ornate here, look at Terrazzo tile floors. Those are marble walls. These doors are bell brass. And the reason for that is this is the original tour route. And this was where you would exit from. This place was designed with tourism in mind. They wanted people to come here and make this an experience. They wanted to show off the dam, and they were always charging for it, so they had to give you something for the buck, so this is what they did. What's going to happen from here is, and let's see what time is it. We're only 14 minutes overdue, but you guys that have to be back by 5, you still got 15 minutes, so that's okay. What's going to happen is I'm going to open up the doors. Go to your left, you're going to go back to the parking garage and the visitor center. If you have a chance, even those of you on the bus trip, if you can go up to the observation deck and take a look down, it's a fantastic view of the dam, fantastic opportunity for pictures. All that is included in the price of your ticket, so please take advantage of it if you can. I'm going to leave everybody with just one final thought, though, as I let you out the magic doors here. If you enjoyed the tour today, My name is Bill, but for some reason, if you didn't enjoy the tour, just remember, my name is Don. Thanks for coming, folks. All the good stuff is to your left. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you're going home by airplane, wear the hard hat on the plane. Scares the heck out of the other passengers. Tell them your uncle works for the airline. They'll leave you alone. They won't be battling with you the whole time. And you get to eat their peanuts, too. You're nervous. Thanks for coming. Make sure I didn't lose. I was going to say, make sure I didn't lose somebody, and I would have. What are you in for? I'll be right there. See that little indentation in the door? During World War II, this was closed, so they just had security people here. Someone discharged a shotgun. That's a shotgun blast in the wall right there. A little part. Wow. Part of the spillway right over there on the other side. You can walk across after it goes. Couldn't do it. It only goes down 200 feet. It's still the water. Continuous inflow of water coming in.
I'm tired of
Yeah, can I just take a picture of that big cable over there? I'd be like, oh, she didn't want to see down there.
Your life
So that's
freaky.
Father